Coming up on Top Shelf Sports, the BLACKHAWKS front office takes a stand after their first round exit. Draft day is only a day away. Who will the Bears select at number 3? And the Cubs and White Sox look to keep their winning streaks alive. Top Shelf Sports starts right now.
Welcome to another edition of Top Shelf Sports. I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Ed McCain. The Bulls play a pivotal Game 5 in Boston tonight, and we preview what the Bulls need to do to win.
Rajon Rondo's status for Game 5 is still in the air. We ask Mateo Avila his thoughts later on.
The Bulls will look to bounce back in Boston tonight as they play a series-changing Game 5. Boston took both games in Chicago to tie the series at 2 games apiece. The Bulls' offense has looked lost after Rondo went down with a broken thumb in Game 2. They will need stellar play at the point guard position with newly named starter Isaiah Canaan to fill in for Rondo. Head coach Fred Hoiberg appreciates Canaan stepping up with Rondo's absence.
You know, we played extremely hard. I was really proud of Isaiah Canaan for coming out after a lot of DNPs, being on the inactive list. We wanted to get him in there because he is a guy that can pressure the ball and pick up the ball full court. Hit a couple shots for us as well. So we wanted to get that in there. That was the plan coming in today. If we didn't get off to a good start, he was going to get his opportunity.
Now our NBA analyst Mateo Avila joins us at the desk. Mateo, so there's rumors that Rajon Rondo may start tonight. Is he going to start?
I don't believe so. He had a late shoot around last night after the Bulls got to the Boston arena. He tested out his hand. He had x-rays last night, and I believe he said this morning that he will not start today, but he is shooting for Game 6.
So what does that mean for Isaiah Canaan and the rest of the point guards?
That
What do they have
means
to do to step up?
According to Fred Hoiberg, that means Isaiah Canaan will be starting tonight. I don't know who will be backing him up. I would expect Isaiah Canaan to get the majority of the minutes, considering he played very well to spark the Bulls' comeback in Game 4. Jaren Grant and Mark Carter-Williams have been very inconsistent and have given the Bulls nothing, especially against guarding Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Canaan was able to stay with him, bother him a little bit, and make some shots to help spark the Bulls. So I would expect Isaiah Canaan to get the bulk of the minutes tonight.
All right, Mateo, so with the Bulls playing in Boston tonight for Game 5, and then Game 6 is back in Chicago, do you see them winning the series?
A lot of things have to go right for the Bulls to win this series, much like it did in Game 1 and 2. The Bulls need to make shots. They need to close out on Boston. They got lucky with Game 1 and 2. Boston struggled to make shots. They're no longer struggling to make shots. Game 3 and Game 4, Boston was hitting the shots they normally make, and the Bulls were doing a horrible job closing out. So they need to close out. They need to play better defense. You need Jimmy Butler to continue to play the way he's playing. You need D-Wade to step up a little more. He's struggled, and you need the young guys to play well. You need a lot to go right, and you need some mistakes from Boston. So I would think the Bulls can send it to 7. I don't see them winning Game 7 in Boston. I think Boston's winning the series.
Maybe it'll just be a Chicago wins to Boston, Boston wins the Chicago series. Maybe that's how it's going to go.
Maybe,
we could all wish.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
but
right?
I doubt that's going to happen.
Well, thank you, Mateo, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
The Houston Rockets look to end the OKC Thunder season in Game 5 of their first-round series, but MVP frontrunner Russell Westbrook wouldn't go out quietly. James Harden also continued his MVP push as he continued to carve the Thunder defense. Harden finished with 34 points and 8 assists, while Westbrook had 47 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists, but the Rockets win 105-99. Putting an end to Westbrook's historic season. The Rockets will await the winner of the Grizzlies-Spurs series.
Moving to that series, the Grizzlies and Spurs battle in Game 5, with each team looking to take a 3-2 series lead. Mike Conley led the Grizzlies with 26 points, and this big floater late in the game cut the Spurs lead to 5. Spurs All-Star Kawhi Leonard led his team with 28 points and 6 assists. Leonard was too much to handle down the stretch as he attacked the Grizzly interior defense. The Spurs pulled away late and get the win by a final score of 116-103.
The Jazz and Clippers are even coming into Game 5. Utah in the end of the third, and Gordon Hayward slams it home to end the quarter. Utah would then lead 64-58, and then longtime Clipper J.J. Redick will not lie down, hits a nice pull-up jumper to bring L.A. within 6. Utah Jazz point guard George Hill puts a 3, clanks it, but the ball finds ISO Joe Johnson, and he bangs home the deep shot to ice the game for the Jazz. Utah wins 96-92 to take a 3-2 series lead.
The kitchen is closed for the Hawks, and can the Pirates try to settle the red-hot Jason Hayward and Anthony Rizzo? Top Shelf Sports will be right back.
Doing good, guys. Doing good. Doing good. Oh, gee. Oh, got it.
The Cubs faced the Pittsburgh Pirates last night for the second game in the 3-game series. Kyle Hendricks was on the mound and looked for better fortunes after his rough start to the season. Bottom of the first, Gregory Polanco rips a liner to first, and Anthony Rizzo makes a great play. Let's take a look at the replay, and Rizzo makes a snow cone catch to rob Polanco of a base hit. Now in the top of the second, red-hot Jason Hayward hits a chopper to second. Alan Hansen fields it and throws it past Josh Bell. Addison Russell scores on the air, and the Cubs get out to 1-0 lead. However, Pirates pitcher Garrett Cole did have 8 strikeouts and went 7 strong innings. Hendricks had a strong outing with 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, and 3 strikeouts as he strikes out Francisco Cervelli to end the 6th. Now last chance for the Pirates, and Wade Davis gets Jordy Mercer to fly out to Albert Almora in center. Cubs win 1-0 and remain in first place in the NL Central. Wade Davis gets his 5th save, and Kyle Hendricks improves to 2-1 on the season.
After smacking the Royals on Monday, the White Sox continue their dominance at the plate, as Leury Garcia hits a double to left center, scoring Omar Narvaez, giving the Sox the lead right away. Next up is Tim Anderson, and he screams a liner to the opposite field for an RBI single. Is now the Sox lead 4-2. Bottom of the 5th, and Todd Frazier lines a double to left, scoring the hustling Jose Abreu from first, as the Sox keep piling on the lead. And then next up, Yomer Sanchez gets up and does his damage of his own, going oppo as well to score another run for the White Sox. Then catcher Navarez unloads the bases, and that would be the finishing touch to the game, as the White Sox would win against the Kansas City Royals 10-5. MLB analyst Scott A. Nickel joins us at the desk. So Scott, Cubs, White Sox starting off the season early, but who's made the best impact so far on both teams?
Well, for the Cubs, it's got to be Jason Hayward and his revamped swing. He's leading the team this year with 16 RBIs, including 3 home runs and 11 RBIs in his past 7 games, as well as leading the team with a .667 slugging percentage in those 7 games. Another player for the Cubs has to be Addison Russell. He's proven to be Mr. Clutch again this year with 14 RBIs and already has a walk-off home run this season as well. As for the White Sox, the entire pitching staff is really impressing, especially after losing their ace in Chris Sale. They're leading the MLB with a 3.02 ERA. The next best team are the Yankees with a 3.17. Among qualifiers, Derek Holland is 2-2 with a 1.99 ERA. Miguel Gonzalez is 3-0 with a 2.0 ERA, and closer David Robertson has converted 4 for 4 save opportunities and only given up 1 run so far this season.
All right, Scott, so moving on to all of the MLB, who's been the biggest surprise this year for the MLB?
Oh, that's an easy one. That's got to be first baseman for the Milwaukee Brewers, Eric Thames. He's just tearing the cover off the ball. He has a lead in the MLB with 11 home runs. Also is 4th in the MLB with a .371 average. He's has a .929 slugging percentage to top the MLB. He's just, coming from Korea. He played 2 years with Toronto and Seattle in 2011, 2012, and only had 21 home runs and 62 RBIs. So he's also been drug tested 3 times this season. So
yeah, he's on pace to hit at least like 40 home runs.
On pace right now, he's on pace to hit 81. So
whoa.
Yeah,
maybe we'll slow down. It's only April, but let's get to the big series on Friday. Cubs, Red Sox at Fenway. Who are the players you wanting to see the most?
Well, I mean, obviously, you look at the Cubs, we have Chris Bryant, Kyle Schwarber, Addison Russell, Anthony Rizzo, all these guys. But for the Red Sox, you have Andrew Benintendi, who's batting .361 with 1 home run and 11 RBIs. Mookie Betts, who was the runner-up for AL MVP last season. He's off to a hot start. He can do it all. He's batting .313 with 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, and leads the team with 3 steals. And then you have Xander Bogaerts, who hasn't really got it going yet so far this year because he was on the bereavement list to start the season and injured his thumb sliding to second base. But he looks to get it going.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us, Scott. As always, it's always good to have you. And the Cubs start their series on Friday at 7:08 at Fenway Park. The Toronto Blue Jays and the St. Louis Cardinals faced off last night, and a big play happened as Kevin Pillar shoots a double over the jumping Stephen Piscotty. And former Cub Chris Coghlan is chugging around third, being waved on, and he jumps over Yadier Molina. Safe at home to give Toronto a 3-2 lead, and we go to replay. He perfectly times the jump, hits his head a little bit, somersaults, and no white baseball player can't jump. There's the awesome play from Coghlan, and you can marvel it over for days.
I'm completely disappointed. It's unacceptable to be where we are today. I need to be better. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to take a look at all things. I can promise you I will be better. Of how we're going to change things into next year are not really meant for this forum, but I can promise you we need to be better. Joel is our head coach. He will continue to be our head coach, and Joel and I are going to work together to make sure that this never happens again.
The Blackhawks have started a fire in the kitchen. After 7 years as the assistant coach, the Chicago Blackhawks have fired Mike Kitchen. Kitchen has been with Coach Q since his St. Louis days, and now after a year with the 77% penalty kill, he will have to find a new place to coach. Kitchen has helped lead the Blackhawks to 7 consecutive playoff berths. Also leaving the Blackhawks organization is AHL coach Ted Dent. Dent has been with the Rockford Ice Hogs for 11 years and was the head coach for the past 6 seasons. The Ice Hogs finished last season with the last place 25, 39, and 12 finish.
The first round of the NHL playoffs is over. The Blackhawks are done, but let's look at the other great matchups. In the West, the St. Louis Blues will play the Nashville Predators, who haven't lost a playoff game yet after sweeping the Blackhawks. The Anaheim Ducks will face off against the Edmonton Oilers as the Hart Trophy candidate Connor McDavid will try to lead his team into the Western Conference Finals. In the East, the Ottawa Senators will go up against King Henrik Lundqvist of the New York Rangers. The premier matchup of captains Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin to have a crazy series as the Capitals play defending Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins.
All pro running backs are on the move. Who the Bears will select in Philly tomorrow, and we are sending it to Brandon and the garage when Top Shelf Sports returns. All right, get ready to cue. Did we remember to write that tag in? Because yeah, his inner Bill O'Reilly is going to come out if we didn't write that tag.
Oh no.
All right, cue in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cue him.
That's tomorrow, and to play us out, all right, I don't know what that is in the teleprompter. I've never seen that before. I don't know what is that.
Just take the teleprompter, read from the top.
I can't read it. There's no words on there. There's no words on the teleprompter. To play us out? What does that mean, to play us out? All right, forget it. You know what? Forget it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Forget it. We'll do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Stupid thing stinks. That's tomorrow, and to play us out, here's a track from Sting on his new album. Take it away. Adrian Peterson has found a new home with the New Orleans Saints. The All-Pro running back will make his return this season in a new uniform as he signed a 2-year, $7 million contract. Peterson looks to have a fresh start in the black and gold as he has battled a few injuries over the past few seasons. AP led the league in carries, rushing yards, and tied for the lead in rushing scores during the 2015 season.
Marshawn Lynch returns to the NFL after retiring last season. He was just traded to the Oakland Raiders for a 5th and 6th round pick in 2018. After 5 years with the Seattle Seahawks, they agreed to trade Lynch to Oakland and sign him to a 2-year contract in his hometown. Lynch has 74 touchdowns with over 9,000 career rushing yards in his 9-year career. Future teammates David Carr and Cleo Mack say they are excited and looking forward for Beast Mode to make a positive impact on the team. Now we bring onto the desk our NFL analyst Tom Burton. So Tom, Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch got new homes. Which one is going to make a bigger impact?
Well, I love Adrian Peterson in New Orleans. I think he gives Drew Brees another option, and I think he needs another option in order for their offense to be as good as they were a few years ago. So I think Adrian Peterson fits that bill pretty well in New Orleans.
Let's hope the offensive line holds up for him. Yeah. And going to the draft now, because it's tomorrow, it's a big day, and the Bears looking like they're going to take Jonathan Allen. You said the last time we were talking. You still think Jonathan's going there at 3?
Yeah, I like Jonathan Allen for the Bears. I think in this draft, the Bears have a good opportunity to kind of revamp their defense pretty well. I mean, I also like Marshawn Lattimore out of Ohio State, cornerback. So whatever happens, their defense should improve next season.
All right, Tom, so with the Browns, are they really going to draft Myles Garrett number 1, or will he fall later on?
Well, I mean, originally that's what everybody thought, but they were kind of rumored to maybe be interested in Mitch Trubisky out of North Carolina, like maybe getting that franchise quarterback that they need. So it'll be interesting to see, and that'll impact the Bears too, because if the Browns do take Trubisky, then everybody falls, which means the Bears will have a chance to take Solomon Thomas, the defensive end out of Stanford. So anything will work for the Bears.
All right, Tom. Yeah. Well, then with Mitch Trubisky, is he going to go first, like out of all the quarterbacks?
I would say he's the highest projected quarterback for sure, but you got to take a look at Deshaun Watson from Clemson. I mean, that postseason standout could always kind of make a huge jump in the draft, so we'll have to see. I'd take Trubisky, though.
All right, well, thank you so much, Tom, for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
And so let's send us to the garage, where Brandon Morocco has more on the retirement of a NASCAR legend.
Thanks, guys. We had another big week in NASCAR, so let's hit the ground running and dive right in. NASCAR headed to Bristol last week. The weather was a factor all weekend, and the race was postponed until Monday afternoon because of rain. On Monday, it was a day of familiar faces. Points leader Kyle Larson took home the first stage win of the race. Second stage was won by Martin Truex Jr. Truex Jr. has 5 stage wins this whole season, more than any other driver. The race was dominated most of the day by Larson, who had 222 laps led, which was more than anyone else. Speeding penalties in the third stage proved costly for both Larson and Truex Jr. This left the door open for Jimmy Johnson. Johnson was able to take home his second victory in a row and proved once again that the only lap that really matters is the last one. Now we move on to the biggest news in recent years for NASCAR, and it took place off the track. Dale Earnhardt Jr. announced Tuesday that 2017 will be his last season in NASCAR. Jr. said that he wanted to go out on his own terms. The announcement comes after Jr. missed most of last season due to concussion issues. Jr. said that the first races of this season will determine if he continues or not. Jr. is having a subpar year, and he is in 24th in the standings, with his best finish coming of 5th place in Texas. Earnhardt said he will continue to be a presence in NASCAR beyond the season, just not as a driver. He's also expressed his interest in racing for his Xfinity Series team, at least for a couple races after his retirement from the Monster Energy Series. Earnhardt has won NASCAR's most popular driver award every year since 2003, and he has won the Daytona 500 twice, as well as the Xfinity Series Championship twice. So I guess we'll see how Earnhardt is able to finish out his career. We'll see how he fares the rest of the season. That's all I got for you guys in the garage. I'm Brandon Morocco. We'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Brandon. And, you know, with Fast and Furious, 101 coming out, I mean, maybe he'll make a guest appearance with Vin Diesel.
Guarantee The Rock's still going to be in it, though.
I mean, by 100 movies, he better be. And that is it for Top Shelf Sports. Like us and look us up on Twitter and Facebook, along with listening to our various podcasts on SoundCloud. Also, listen to Northern Star Press Box, a podcast dedicated to getting the inside scoop on various NIU athletes.
Top Shelf Sports is produced and directed by students at Northern Illinois University, and we would like to thank you for joining us. And as always, go Huskies.
Goodbye, everyone.